Alright, let's just jump right into this. Think about the very first thing that happened today. Your alarm clock went off, right? And as you opened your eyes, maybe you saw the ceiling fan spinning quietly above your head. Have you ever actually stopped to ask yourself how that fan works? Well, fun fact for you. Fans don't actually cool the room. They cool you by accelerating the evaporation of sweat on your skin. But how does the whole machine actually do that?
It's just one of those everyday things we completely take for granted. But let's take it a step further. You look out the window and maybe it's pouring down rain. We all know what rain is, but why does it rain? What invisible mechanism is, pulling water up from the earth just to drop it all the way back down on us from the clouds?
Or think about later in the day, when you pick up your mobile phone to call a friend who is hundreds or maybe even thousands of miles away. How can we hear a voice from that far away on this tiny, wireless piece of glass and metal? It's kind of wild if you really think about it. Well, the answer to all of these questions, literally from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, is exactly what we are exploring today.
Welcome to this explainer on science in action powering everyday life. Today, we're going to demystify how science isn't just some boring subject trapped inside thick, dusty textbooks or isolated to sterile laboratories. It's actually the invisible, practical force powering our entire day.
So here is our roadmap. We'll start by defining what is science in action. Then we'll look at science in our homes, explore science in nature, dive into technology and medicine, and finally take a peek at the future of science. Let's get started with Section 1. What is science in action? The practical magic.
Basically, science in action is using scientific rules and discoveries practically to make everyday human life easier. It isn't just about memorizing formulas. It's about bending the rules of the universe to serve us. It's harnessing electromagnetism to light up a dark room or using thermodynamics to keep your groceries cold. It is the real-world application of human ingenuity.
Which brings us right to Section 2, Science in Our Homes, the morning routine.
Your kitchen and laundry room, they're essentially physics and chemistry labs. That fan we talked about is just electricity driving a motor. Your refrigerator is an absolute masterclass in cooling technology, constantly working to preserve your food. Your gas stove relies on combusting fuel to instantly generate heat, and your washing machine perfectly balances a motor with water pressure to clean your clothes. Every single appliance in your house is basically a tamed scientific principle.
Okay, let's step outside for Section 3, Science in Nature, the world outside.
Once we step outside, we see nature operating as this massive, observable scientific engine. Take the rain we mentioned earlier. Step 1, the sun's heat turns water into vapor. Step 2, that vapor rises to form clouds. And get this, here's a wild fact. A single average-sized cumulus cloud can weigh over 1 million pounds. Think about that. Then, Step 3, when that vapor cools, it all comes crashing back down as rain in a perfect continuous cycle.
And this illustrates how fundamental forces govern absolutely everything. Think about the invisible tug-of-war happening outside right now. On one hand, you have photosynthesis, which is plants using sunlight to create food, like microscopic solar factories pushing green shoots up. And simultaneously, you have gravity, the invisible force pulling everything toward the earth, making sure those ripe apples fall back down to the dirt. Every movement in nature is an equation balancing itself out.
Moving on to Section 4, Technology and Medicine, Connecting and Healing.
Our modern society literally rests on applied science. Think about mobile phones, entirely powered by signals and electronics to beam voices instantly. Then there's the internet, literally connecting the entire world in milliseconds. We've got televisions utilizing sound and picture science, and vehicles running on complex engines, fuel, and motion to conquer distance. We are constantly manipulating the laws of motion and energy to shrink our world.
But honestly, the most profound application is how we heal. We figured out how to see right through our own skin using X-rays, and how to map our tissues using MRI machines. It's a real game changer. More than just seeing inside, we engineer life-saving medicines and create vaccines that act as training simulators for our immune systems. In a very real way, science is quite literally our armor. And that leads us to our final stop, Section 5, the future of science, tomorrow's innovations.
Tomorrow's world is being built right now, on these very foundations, and we are pushing boundaries in every direction. We're talking about advancements in robotics and artificial intelligence that are fundamentally changing how we process information. We've got space missions, like those from NASA, expanding our footprint into the cosmos. And of course, advance new medicines to cure the previously incurable. Science is the vehicle driving us forward.
So, what is the big takeaway here? Well, it boils down to this. Science is not just a school subject. It is a part of life. From the second that alarm wakes you up to the moment you turn off the light to sleep, you are completely surrounded by and totally reliant upon the practical magic of the universe at work.
I want to leave you with this. Look around the room you're sitting in right now. Beyond the wood, the glass, and the plastic, what scientific marvel is quietly working away that you'll notice next today? Because once you start seeing the world this way, you can never unsee it. Thanks so much for joining this explainer today, and stay curious.